I spoke with Frances Colon. She is from Puerto Rico. She was also an advisor to John Kerry when he was U.S. Secretary of State. I first asked her about the optics and potential impact of President Trump's trip to Puerto Rico.
I think in the lead up to the trip, what most people on the ground felt was that there was a glacial pace to the movement of aid and relief. Certainly the federal government was on the ground, but not at the scale at which we needed it to be, and not moving quickly enough. Most people felt that the right directives were not being issued from the White House for the footprint to be increased at the rate it needed to be. So there was a lot of concern. At the same time, many people felt that it would be good for the president to see the devastation himself firsthand, and that possibly that would increase the rate at which the relief was reaching people. And it would also bring attention to the need for a robust relief package down the road, with Congress voting on it.
Frances, I heard some folks, though, saying today that they were afraid it was going to just go in areas and he wouldn't really get a sense of the devastation or just how much suffering people are going through. Was that a concern on your part as well? Is that something you're hearing?
It was a concern, and it actually became true. He visited the richest township in the metropolitan area, the city of Guaynabo, and he went to a church to dole out relief supplies. And in one really now legendary scene, he threw paper towels at the crowd. From the press conference, the moment he landed, to what he's doing right now, has, in our view, been a dog and pony show, and it really didn't speak to the need on the ground. He didn't go to the places that were hardest hit. We don't see him taking this as seriously as we would have liked.
Frances, give me some stories of people and what they're going through. I mean, we hear about the lack of drinking water. We hear about all of these issues a couple of weeks out. But just how tough is it on the ground there for people? I mean, what are they suffering through? What's it like?
Well, people are suffering through long lines in traffic. Because there's no power, a lot of traffic lights are not functioning. Some bosses are demanding their employees go to work. Obviously, you have to start getting the economy off the ground, but it is really hard to get to work, to come back from work. And this is in the metropolitan area where some power has returned and people can start getting back to work. But most people are fearful that they are not going to generate any earnings in the next couple of weeks and months, because many businesses are not up and running. If you're a big company, maybe you have a generator, but if you're a small company, if you're a small business owner, if you're self-employed, it's very hard for you to generate earnings right now. People are afraid for their safety in the evenings, where it's pitch black outside. Neighbors are patrolling their own streets, helping each other out. My own mother, I picked her up at the airport here in Miami 2 days ago, and she finally broke down in tears. She said she hadn't cried for 2 weeks, but that as she saw her food supplies dwindling and she didn't have any gas in her car, and the gas lines were hours long. She's also a 68-year-old woman who had to sit in the sun for 9 hours to get gas. People are at their wits' end with the pace at which relief is moving.